So why do men no longer come up to women? I asked this in a TikTok last week, and it got so many comments, especially from men. And I just want to preface this with, this was no shade to men. This post was no shade to men, and neither is this one. I was just genuinely curious and asking. I love men, I think they're awesome, and I think that they're a little confused right now. But most of their responses said something like, we were told not to go up to you guys, and we were told that you want to be left alone, and you just want your own space, and you don't want us approaching you. Which for some women, that can absolutely be true, but I love meeting people in person, and I just think that it takes a confident person to go up to someone when you see them in person, and I think it's a really cool way to meet people rather than meeting people online. Men were also saying things like they were called creeps and weirdos, and they don't want to be called that. It's not a pleasant experience. But I will say that it has to do with how you approach a woman. Like, for example, myself and my friends have had men come up to us with a really, really intense energy, like a very in-your-face energy, and they're really nervous and they're kind of scattered and they're very pushy or weird, and their energy is just off. And one of the most attractive things to a woman is emotional intelligence. And that shows within like the first few seconds of meeting someone when they introduce themselves to you. So if you're gonna go up to a woman, just like take a calm, deep breath. If you see a woman working on her laptop or something at a cafe, you can go up to her and be like, hey, my name is so-and-so. I thought you were really beautiful and you seem interesting. I would love to get to know you more if you're interested, and then slipping her your number on a napkin or something, you know? Like just coming up to women with a calm energy and not giving off this like needy energy or this like pushy energy. I think that is what women don't like. I think it's really sweet and cute to be approached in person, and I know that there's a lot of women like me. There's probably some women out there who don't want to be approached, and that's fine, and it's hard to tell who's who. But I think you can tell when you go up to a girl kind of right away if she'd be interested or not based on her body language, and just be calm and natural and don't overthink it. You know, I know that's easier said than done. I've only gone up to a man once in my whole life, but I think that might help. I don't know. I think I'm just someone who's very interested in people interacting with each other and having experiences and building community. And I think the world is growing more and more introverted and people are on their phones more, and I just think it's beautiful to meet people out and in person, and I just don't want to lose that as a humanity.
There's an epidemic of men not approaching women at the bar. Let's talk about it. Men are afraid of being rejected.
But I bet you 90% of the women will actually not reject you if you approach them right.
What's the right way?
Reading their body language. If you're gonna go up to a girl that is clearly like dancing with her friends, like yes, of course she's gonna like ignore you. Or if she's like in such a serious conversation up in the corner, she doesn't want to be approached. You're probably approaching those girls. That's why your like ego is like bruised, because you're getting rejected by girls like that.
Only because they're not at the bar looking for a guy, because they're dating someone, had just gotten out of a relationship, or they're just trying to catch up with their friends.
But like we still want to be approached.
And I think a lot of girls do. Even if we're not into you, it flatters us, and we'll kindly shoo you away if we're not into it.
But not really like shoo
5
you
minutes.
away. Like it might be like, okay, like so good meeting you, like we're gonna go to the bathroom or we're gonna go grab another drink. But it's not like a rejection. Like,
Yeah.
okay, bye.
We're gonna go out tonight and see how hard it is, because it's not hard.
It's not
And
hard.
we're
We've
gonna-
done it a lot.
We're gonna report back tomorrow, I promise.
We have to take our own advice.
It has come to my attention that men do not want to approach women anymore. I don't know when this happened, but this is the reality of the situation. And I also realize that nobody wants to be on dating apps anymore. I think this summer is about to be feral girl summer. Like, I feel like we are finally gonna connect with one another, and we are finally gonna get off the apps, and we are finally gonna flirt with one another. However, we have an issue at hand. Men don't want to approach women at bars. So it's like, how do we start conversation? Luckily, one of my favorite gifts in life is asking weird questions to people. So I started taking myself out to bars. I'm going out with girlfriends and I'm trying to make conversation with guys at bars. And I have one question that I have been asking that is working. My favorite question to ask, I ask this on first dates too. I always ask people, if I could give you a private jet right now that could take you anywhere in the world, where would you go? And this brings up so many good conversations. If a guy says Italy, I'm already imagining our honeymoon there. But seriously, use this one next time you're out. And I just feel like this is about to be an amazing summer, and I am so excited for it.
Guys never approach women in dating anymore. There's a reason why. And a lot of this is, yes, a guy's fault, but a lot of it is also on the women too. I remember right before I met my girlfriend, I approached this girl in public. I went up, asked her for her number, or I can't remember the exact line. I was very direct about it. I got flat out rejected, like in a rude way. And I approached with a very kind, happy, not domineering manner at all. The girl was just flat out like, no, sorry. What? So there is a reason why guys don't approach you anymore. And that reason is most of the responses we get are like that. They really are. It's this egotistical tone of voice. And it's the worst thing in the world. And it would be a whole lot better if the rejection was more like, oh, I'm sorry. Or, just something a little bit more kind. Oh, I'm sorry, I have a boyfriend. I can't right now. But thank you. Why is it just, no, sorry, or get away from me? It's like, I don't know. There's a reason why guys aren't approaching anymore for that specific reason.
Yes, I actually can believe that, and let's get into this one. So this girl who was sitting there making the world's angriest face says, can you believe it? I'm sitting here alone at Beer Garden in Boston, and not a single guy has come up to me. What the heck? I love this thing that girls do whenever I do see the occasional video of a girl that's like, can you believe it? Like, no guys are talking to me. Like, they make it seem like they don't also have a mouth. Because, of course, several people made the comments that I'm about to make, but one person said, why would someone want to bother a stranger? And she says, I believe it's called socializing. I could be wrong. Says the person who won't get up and talk to anybody. And then there's actually a girl in the comments that says, yeah, socializing has gone down the drain, unfortunately. Have you tried speaking to anybody? Are you just going to sit there angry with your beer in your hand and then make a TikTok, saying that you never got approached? This reminds me a lot of the video where that girl was complaining that nobody helped her move her furniture when she was just struggling carrying her furniture and there was men around, and then she acted like she physically doesn't have a voice and couldn't be like, hey, can you help me? Like, these girls will sit there angry making a TikTok sipping their beer instead of just going up to somebody and saying like, hey, what's your name? You do understand a large reason why men aren't approaching is because we have been told that a lot of women don't want us to speak to them, so we're just being safe. I don't know why so many girls are so embarrassed to have to just say a couple words first instead of making a TikTok about it. To answer your question, yes, I absolutely believe that nobody approached you at Beer Garden. I wouldn't expect anything less, but that's just my opinion. But hey, what do you think?
You're a woman that goes into the gym and you ask yourself, like, why does every man stare at me? Why don't I get approached by these men? Is something wrong with me? I'm gonna tell you the answer. I'm not being delulu. This is just facts. I know it, and I've heard it from men saying why they don't approach me. The reason why you are not getting approached is because these men see you as a woman with high value. A lot of men just want to have fun. So they go and push themselves on women that they think don't have high value. This is the truth. Like, I'm trying to be kind, but that is the truth. If you are not getting approached in a place where everyone's breaking their necks to stare at you, they know that if they approach you, you will hurt their ego. And they know that you are better than them. Men can sense if a woman is better than them, and that intimidates them. That just makes them scared, like, oh shit, like, no woman can be better than me. And personally, I take this as a compliment if I'm out in public getting a lot of stares.
I think I can speak for most guys right now. That's actually not the reason at all. The only reason guys don't really approach girls in the gym is because they're shy. That's it. Oh, she's high value and I don't want to hurt my ego. Type of weird psycho thing to say is that. And I think it's funny seeing someone confidently spew out nonsense on a subject they know nothing about and then to go ahead and label themselves high value. Go outside and touch some grass, please. I can assure you it's not that deep, all right?
If a bunch of men approach you in public, you need to stop taking that as a compliment. That's actually an insult. Unless they're a bunch of sharks approaching you, that should be taken as an insult. If it's a bunch of Nemos and Lil Nemos and regular men and Dusties approaching you, they thought that you were so intimidating that it was okay for them to come up to you, waste your time, and ask you for your number because they just knew you were going to give it to them because they just knew you were in their league. Only the 1%, the top percent of men should be approaching you. Like, it's quality over quantity. I really hate when girls be like, I get niggas. That's the easiest thing to get. Do you get quality niggas? This is not for everyone either. This is for a certain target audience. The girls that get it, and the girls that don't. This is about using your beauty and investing even your last dollar into your appearance, to use your beauty to get a softer, easier life. It's about working smarter, not harder. Unfortunately, in today's society, unfortunately, but it's the hard reality, so save your comments. A woman's beauty will get her much farther than any degree will. Unfortunately. You guys need to stop letting these thirsty men boost your head up, get you comfortable, and hold you back from being the baddest bitch that you can be. There's always room for improvement. So if a lot of men are approaching you, that's not a compliment. Unless he's the big dog, top shark, you need to go look in the mirror and figure out what you need to do to become a better bitch. And what could these little Nemos do for you anyway besides tell you good morning? Like, and give you a wet ass and send you home in an Uber. Uber X. Not even a black truck.
Men don't really approach women that much anymore for a lot of different reasons, I think. But personally, I want to be approached. I would love to meet someone in real life versus online. And as long as it's a respectful approach, I'm always going to be nice. Even if I'm not interested, I'm never going to be rude to the guy. But I think as women, we have to give a signal that we are interested before most men will feel like it's okay to like actually approach you. Personally, I'm not going to approach a man. That's not me, but I will make it clear that I'm interested. I will pretty much give him an open invitation to approach me through eye contact, smiling at him, physically like getting closer to him in whatever vicinity that we're in. And if he doesn't take that invitation, then I would just assume he's taken or he doesn't have the confidence to come up to me, which just means he's not for me. I'm gonna try harder to meet people in real life.
To my ladies, I need you to listen to me for a second. This is for you. Guys have no problem pursuing you. I promise you. It's in our nature to want to go after the woman that we want. But the reason why a lot of us men do not care to pursue women anymore is because we know in our hearts that we're in competition with so many other guys. And before you sit there and say, oh, what's wrong with a little bit of competition? These women know that. And instead of y'all going after the guy that y'all know is truly good for you, you'll sit there and let these men fight for you over and over again until the last one is standing. And quite frankly, for me, if I know I'm in competition with another guy and a girl is playing me against another dude, yeah, not happening. See, a problem with a lot of women, not all women, but a lot of women is that y'all ego tells y'all that y'all have so many options. But I'm going to tell you something as a man. Just because a lot of men want you does not mean they want you for real. A lot of these dudes lust after y'all. A lot of these dudes only want you for your flesh. So while you playing games with the dude that really rock with y'all, you choose the dude who really just want to use you, and then after he done with you, you end up saying all guys ain't shit, but really you the problem. Like I said before, I ain't got no problem going up to a girl, asking her for a phone number and everything like that. But as soon as I see that there's no interest, that's where you lost me. A lot of guys with self-respect are not going to sit around and just boost your ego while you entertaining other dudes. I go for the woman that want me.
If you're a woman watching this and you're wondering why men are not asking you out, I promise you, there are a few different reasons why this would be happening. I've had women come to me and say, why isn't he asking me out? Why is he not approaching me? Maybe he's just not interested, number one. Number two, the biggest thing that I see is the imbalance with masculine and feminine and where that actually stands today. There's so many games that are being played. There's so many imbalances when it comes to what a woman should provide, what a man should provide. And, the Me Too movement has moved men so far away. But it's not an excuse because I see a lot of masculine men that are sitting in their masculine energy, approaching women, regardless of all of this other stuff. I see the masculine men, or shall I say, the men that are sitting in their masculine energy. That doesn't mean that they need to be macho men or whatever, but the men who are quietly confident, even if they aren't the best looking guy in the room or the guy that has all the money, get the girl. I see them getting the girl because they're actually approaching women and they are taking the time to ask women certain questions, get to know her, and they're taking a chance. So if you're a woman watching this and you're wondering why is this not happening? He might not be the type of guy that wants to approach, fair enough, but he might not be into you. And the other thing is that men need a signal. They need a signal to know whether to approach. So if you're in the gym or you're in a coffee shop and you think he's good looking and you would like him to approach you, obviously if you're not looking at him at all but you know he's good looking, he's going to be like, well, she's not even, or maybe you've got your headphones in. He's not going to approach when you are blocked off in your energy and in whatever situation you're in. You have to give a guy a signal to actually have an in to approach you. So the more that you're open and receptive to that kind of signal, the more that he will be like, okay, I think she's interested, so I'm going to approach.
Good guys aren't going to want to hit on you in public, right? I know for me, like, I'll see girls at the gym and I'll be like, yeah, like, I'd love to talk to them or whatever, but I don't want to weird them out, so I don't go for it. I think, like, where we are in society, right, guys, it's a lot easier. Obviously, we're just at a standpoint where we're bigger, we're stronger, we're scarier, period, right? So it's easy to scare women, but because of that, the good guys that have empathy aren't going to want to go up to you because they're going to scare you, at least in our minds, right? It's interesting because girls I see on comments will always be like, where have all the good men gone? And it's like, truth is they're still there. They're just not like wanting to talk to you out of fear of scaring you. I was having this conversation recently with, I think, my parents, and we were talking about how, like, in the old days, right, or like with grandparents, you'd hear, like, grandma would just be like, yeah, I actually told grandpa that I didn't want to date him 7 times. And then he still kept going. And to us, it's like, oh, but, they say that and then they've been together for 50 years. So it's this weird thing. I don't know what the change is. People say Me Too all the time. And I think that's part of it, where it's now we're in a culture where it's, highly emphasized to not bother women in that way, which is good. But it also leads to these things where the dating pool is so much different now.
I need to know from a men's perspective, are y'all waiting on girls to talk to you first? Like, are you waiting?
Let me explain something. I am somebody who does not approach girls very often, that I don't know. Let me clarify. Why do I do this? Is it like the girl says, am I just not man enough? Maybe. Or potentially, does it have something to do with the fact that the last, year, most of the content that we consume as men is women making it very loud and clear that they do not want men talking to them. They don't want it so bad that they want to be in a forest with a deadly bear over a man. But then when we hear them loud and clear, we take their feelings into account, we go, okay, fine, we understand, we won't talk to you. Now we're just feminine. Oh, you're waiting for the girl to come talk to you. Oh, blah, 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 blah. But then when I take your feelings into account and I go, I'm not going to approach this stranger because I can come across like a scary bear man. Now all of a sudden, I'm feminine. I am actually not man enough because I am listening to what you are basically telling me to do. I've never understood how a girl can make a video like this and act like she can't fathom why a guy would not want to approach girls anymore after seeing plenty of content that guys have heard loud and clear. You do not like us. We get it. This is why, in my opinion, a lot of the guys who are willing to approach girls are not going to be guys I feel like long term you're going to be able to date, because it shows that the guy lacks a certain amount of empathy. A group of friends who love to go and hit on girls. They literally will take time out of their weekend schedule to go to the mall, not to buy anything, just to walk around and hit on girls. And they'll get some girls' numbers. They actually do get some girls' numbers during this time. I've always wondered, and it's always fascinated me, that the girls who give out their numbers, do they not understand that a guy who is willing to just go up and approach you and just not think about the fact that maybe a girl doesn't want to be approached, probably does this to everybody, probably hits on everybody. And then you girls will want that kind of guy over a guy who's like, no, that'll make her uncomfortable. I've heard loud and clear that they think we're creepy. If she's interested, she'll give me a look or do something that clearly, is a little bit more showing maturity. The whole point is that there is no right answer, because you guys make countless amounts of videos talking about how you guys would rather be in a forest with a deadly bear, but then you also are going to make videos talking about how We're so feminine. We need to start approaching more random women, even when they are screaming loud and clear, do not talk to us.